Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Nicholas Source. I am here at AMF Bellevue Lanes in Englewood, Colorado, and we're here for the ABT Denver Branches Stair-Step Finals format this weekend with our champion today taking home $2,278. In just a second here, you're going to see our fifth and fourth place bowlers. They're going to be up at the foul line. And again, the way this format works, just as you see on TV, stair-step final. So fifth seed is going to bowl the fourth seed, which is Keith Guerrero, our fourth seed, up against Ron Wills, our fifth seed. Keith selected to lead the match. The winner of this match takes on our third seed, Laura Coros. Second seed today, Ronald Smith out of Monument, Colorado, and our leader, Rick Isaacs, out of Aurora. So again, Keith selected the lead, so we're going to shake hands, and away we go with match number one. In this first match, Mr. Guerrero is going to be spotting Ronald Wills 45 pins a game. You're looking at one of our top scratch players in our branch. Keith, even on tournament patterns, averaging into two teens, which is rather difficult. And of course, he's going up against Ron Wills. Ron's been dealing with knee problems lately, but came out and he bowled really good today. And then, so we'll see how this all transpires. Once we get our arrows up here, we'll begin match number one. There we go. Oh, of course, that ain't going to work, so now we got to flip them around. Matt Brungard, our floor director, will handle that. And away we go. Okay, so your first look here at Keith Guerrero. I fondly call him the Guam Bomb. Keith can throw the ball almost 30 miles an hour if he has to. Almost no effort. Excellent player. Starts off with a strike. And actually, Keith has been struggling for the last couple months here. Of course, leagues are over. Leagues in Denver end somewhere around the second, third week of April. So we've been off for, probably about 6 weeks now. So some guys, a little bit of rust. Great shot for Ron. He comes right out and he strikes. And again, he's got a 45 pin advantage. My color analyst is recovering from Garth Brooks' concert. Garth Brooks was in town at Mile High Stadium. They got 84,000 people into that stadium on Saturday night. That was pretty crazy. Look at this. Nobody understands him. Oh, Lord. So Ron Wells starts out strike 4 pin. Oh, yeah, that should hold on. He'd be all right. Okay, so.
I was in Wyoming yesterday, or I'd have been at that Garth Brooks concert.
Well, actually, I was, the way they were talking in the beginning of the day, they were worried that we were going to have some pretty severe weather come through town, right about when they were performing, and they didn't know whether they might have to delay it or what, or cancel it. But as it turned out, the rain held off until after the concert was over, and then as the people were trying to get back to public transportation and to their cars, and the rain came down. But, all right, so Keith starts out with a double. He's now cut the lead to 35. Keith works for the Postal Service and lives in Parker, Colorado. About 10-15 minutes south of here. And Ron Wells out of Aurora, which is the east side of Denver.
Well, that was a really pretty drive coming in from south central Wyoming this morning.
Ooh, he got that 10 to fall.
But
all right.
I was surprised that there is a 15-degree temperature difference once you cross the state line.
Oh, I believe it. Yeah, I believe it. And plus, I've heard this little fun fact that the wind has blown in Wyoming for the last 247 years without a stop.
I think it's longer. I think it's longer because, yeah, it doesn't ever stop blowing.
I was up as far north as Wheatland once. Good shot. And it was incredible. Just the fact that didn't matter whether it was gorgeous out, a little cloudy, but the wind was impressive. It was like it was always windy.
Actually, when I came back from Salt Lake the one time on 80, I stopped at a rest stop, and they had a big old plaque. You know, I needed to be out of the car for a few minutes, so I just walked over and read it. And they were talking about how that wind benefits the animals because it doesn't allow the snow to pile up. Therefore, they can get to the grass.
Oh, yeah, that's good. That's very true. Oh, here we go. Ron Wells, strike spare double. He's answering the challenge of Keith Guerrero right now.
These two are trying to set a record for the fastest round.
And they will, because neither one takes that much time. So. Boom, there's a four-bagger. Still up 15, but he can cut it to 5 if he should throw another one. This is a great start. Ron Wells impressive right out of the gate, but so is Keith Guerrero. Oh, a little late. And
oh, it took a while, but he got 9.
Kicks out the 2, 4, 5, but yeah, he leaves the 4. So Keith right now with a spare, he can still max out at 279. And believe it or not, Ron Wells can max out at 280. And then add that handicap difference on it. You can tell Ron is he's absolutely in this match with no problem. All right, no problem with the spare for Keith Guerrero.
Jeez, his ball almost beat the camera.
You can. So 109 in the 4th with a spare. That's going to go left. And he gets it. All right. Thing I love about Keith, he will root on every opponent that he ever bowls against.
Well, they were rooting for each other down there.
Sure.
Trading strikes and
oh yeah, absolutely.
Slapping out high fives.
Yep.
You know, they're
Keith loves a challenge, and he loves his opponents to bowl good. Ooh, hold. Get out.
straight in.
All right, 4, 6, 10. He can get 2, though.
One of our regular viewers has shared with the chat room that after 3 shots, he feels that Keith could be one of the toughest bowlers in the league.
Yeah, he is very, very good at what he does. His ball speed's impressive, but he knows exactly what he's doing. So unfortunately with that open by Ron Wells, he can still shoot 241, max out. But let's see if Keith can start another one. Ooh, a little high, leaves a 4. So back-to-back 4 pins. So now he can max out at 268.
He's got 4 frames to eat up the rest of that handicap difference.
Yep, sure. he's still down 18 pins. Bullard fails to advance this afternoon, takes home 5th place money for $310. And then our 4th place finisher this afternoon will take home $360. 3rd place at $595. 2nd place $1139. Good shot. And our champ today will take home $2,278. All right, so Keith right back with a strike. Hey, Ron Wells with a great start, even though that split kind of slowed him down a little. He's still in pretty good shape. Ooh, yes, he gets the tap. There we go.
And you're right. The one that cheered the loudest was Keith.
Oh, yeah. I don't know if you remember the last time, I don't remember the bowling center we were at, but when Keith was bowling Nolan.
Yeah.
Carruthers. And poor Nolan was struggling, and Keith was going, "Come on, Nolan, come on!" He wanted, he wanted him to bowl really well. Unfortunately, Nolan really struggled in that final match that day.
Well, he wants to beat you, but he wants to beat your best.
Absolutely. All right. Another one of my well-respected master champions from 15, 20 years ago, Greg Wabama, used to literally line his opponent up as far as telling him exactly why he wants him there and what ball to use and this and that. And I used to say, "Greg, what are you doing?" He goes, "I want his best." That's what he used to push Greg, and Greg was extremely tough. Good shot for Ron.
Does he come out anymore?
Very once in a while. He does. He is back to bowling league on a regular basis, for what I'm told. But there was a while there he basically hadn't bowled in a couple years, and he was more into running and fitness. And just recently he started bowling full time again. But years ago, at one time, Greg held the record for most 800s in the state of Colorado.
Wow.
Very impressive player. Frame number 8. Boom. There we go. Okay, he's down 8 pins. He can take a 2-pin lead with another strike.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't like it. Ooh.
He may not like it, but it worked.
He was surprised that it held because he was inside of where he was looking. He was worried about that when he let it go. That's a great gift right there.
Well, he chewed up that handicap, so now it's going to...
Yep. Yeah, it's a couple pin difference now. See if Ron can get back on it. Come on. Oh, 4-6. Ow. All right, so right now we're looking at seriously, Ron Wells going to go 168. We're getting 198, and 49 for 247. All right, it gets to 1. 247. That means if he can double here, he would force Keith to throw the first one in the 10th.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't sound hard, especially with the way Keith is bowling, but one non-carry in a critical situation is all you need not to advance, and so Ron can still put the heat on him. Okay, he's going to go left. Nope. Right through the face. 479. Ow. What a bad break. So let's see if he gets to 2. 177. He can still go 226. Pretty much all Keith would have to do is good count on his first ball, and he'll advance. So Ron Wells will take home fifth place money today, but $310. That was a good start by Ron. It's a shame. Couple bad breaks. 177 and 49. 226. Oh, 10 pin.
But that was enough.
Yep. Oh, yeah. Well, once he, the back-to-back opens just killed Ron. Ron was still in a very good place. But the 4-6 was well-deserved. But that 4-7-9, even though it was a little high, he didn't get much love there. All right, so Keith with a strike will shoot 247. Uh, 241 and 4, 245. Okay, so Keith Guerrero defeats Ron Wells. 245, 226. And when we come back, our second match is going to feature Keith Guerrero and one of our newcomers making her first appearance in the finals, Laura Carros out of Aurora. And you'll watch that match in just a moment. Again, you're watching the Amateur Bowlers Tour here at AMF Bellevue Lanes in Inglewood. And we'll be back in just a moment. Ladies and gentlemen, Nicholas Source. I'm here at AMF Bellevue Lanes in Inglewood, Colorado. This is match number 2 of ABT Denver Branch's Stair-Step Finals format this weekend, with our champion today walking away with $2,278. Our first match winner, Keith Guerrero, our fifth-seeded player, is now up against Laura Carros, one of our newcomers. She's been bowling the club for a few months, and she was our third-seeded player. She has elected to lead the match, so we'll shake hands, and then we'll begin match number 2. He's a character, isn't he? What a trip. He makes you have fun. That's what it's all about.
If you want to or not.
That's right. You are going to have fun, even if it kills him. So our first look at Laura Carros here. Laura, a golfer who has gotten the bowling bug, and she has really worked on her game. And it's okay. Just leave a 6. All right. Laura has we've tried to get Laura not to guide the ball and not to over amp herself on every single shot. Just relax, roll the ball, good things will happen. First time she's made the stair-step finals, and only her second cut, but she's done it back-to-back tournaments now. Hold on. No, the ball skates off. It's all right. She got through the ball good, but like I said before, if you're going to open, first frame is where you want to do it. So not a problem. But her arm swing has gotten very good, very relaxed. She's not as robotic, trying to guide the ball, trying to think about every little thing that her coach has been trying to teach her. And you just got to relax and, get one thing done at a time. Good shot by Keith. The crazy thing about Keith is I don't know if he's ever had a bowling lesson in his life.
Well, he figured out how to project a bowling ball to subsonic speeds.
Really?
With control.
Yes, with the utmost control.
It's not just like he's blasting it down there to see what happens.
He knows exactly what he's doing. That's the second time he didn't like the ball, but the ball sat right where he didn't expect it to, and he Gets a double right out of the gate.
What's the pattern this week?
This is the Denver Masters pattern from 2017. It was specifically made for the greater Denver area Masters tournament that particular year that Steve McCracken won. It's a 40-foot pattern. It's playable but very sneaky. It transitions not majorly, I would say, but fairly quickly, where you'll throw a couple good shots and swear you threw the exact same ball, and your carry will go away, or you'll get a completely different ball reaction out of what you thought.
Ooh.
All right, good try. It's all right.
She's almost able to pull that 10 pin out.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Laura just bowled her very first, I believe it was Queen's tournament a couple weeks ago. She got to cross with Carolyn Doran-Ballard, one of the women's professional Hall of Famers. And that alone was a great teaching tool for Laura, and she got the biggest kick out of it. Maybe. All right. All right. Just leave it 3. Laura's husband is watching. And either her sister or his sister. There we go. There we go. All right. Get that first spare out of your. Boom.
Nicely done.
Scary thing about Keith is when he gets lined up, it's like a broken record, just over and over and over again. He's not always like this, believe me. But when he does make it and he is lined up, he is tough to beat. And like I said, believe it or not, he has been struggling the last couple months. Leagues are over. Nationals is over. So the weekly competitive fire of bowling and scratch legs every week probably isn't there as much as it would be in the wintertime. But we got that 10 out. All right. A little wide. Will it come back? Nice. Very good. There we go.
Well, she proclaimed she was going to match him, and she did.
For one frame, but that's okay.
Oh, yeah, for one frame. She didn't say the whole game.
That would be nice, though. So he could still max out at 248, which means he would have to throw to front 10. So plenty of room, plenty of room, plenty of opportunity. And tried to guide it a little bit. Yep. Pulled it just a hair as it goes high through the head pin, leaves it 3-6. That prior ball was the first ball that she absolutely just let it off her hand, let the ball go right, and sat up really nice and finished well. That's what you have to get used to, letting the ball do what it's designed to do. Don't try to fit it in, just let it go. And she's going to do the same thing.
Oh.
That's all right. It's a spare ball, so the ball's not going to read. And she has to learn that on these sport patterns, when you get to the outside, there's a lot more conditioner. And the ball's just not going to do anything. But these are all learning steps. And actually, if you look at a release, even the 2 balls that she flagged right on her spare ball, she threw the ball well. Got through the ball really nice. Unfortunately, just a little right of where she needed to be. Meanwhile, Mr. Guerrero going for 5 in a row. Whoop, late. 1, 2, 8, 10. So there is a crack in the armor.
Sometimes you can be too fast.
And sometimes it's hard to stay focused because you have, your ability is so much better than the next person. That has nothing to do with it. You know it is handicap. You understand that I'm in a good place. I'm throwing the ball really good. But you have to stay focused.
Yep.
Very easy to let your mind drift and, not throw a quality shot. So, again, he's open. He's got 114 in the 5th to Laura's 66 in the 5th. So 48 pin difference. So she's down a mark. No big deal. All right. Next week, of course, we're at Coal Creek Lanes in Lafayette. We'll be on the new PBA Wolf, 33 feet. Short and sweet. Bring your urethane, bring your plastic.
Nice center. Very well lit.
Yes, it is. They've done a great job with that. And just for you people with sweet tooths out there, the square footage that was to the left of the bowling center when you walk in is going to be an ice cream shop.
Oh, nice.
I know you hate to hear that.
That old.
Well, they were
not Rob's shop, but across the hall.
Correct, right.
And then
on
down?
the other side.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had a company called Orange Theory, which was the orange bikes.
Right.
But they moved to a bigger facility on the other side of the bowling center. And then there was talk that one of the arcades from downtown Lafayette was going to move up there where you'd have, arcade games and all such. They couldn't strike a deal. But from what I was told, it's going to be an ice cream shop. Oh, just what we need, huh? Yeah. I know the manager's excited.
Yeah, melted ice cream on the lanes.
I don't think he's worried about that so much. Well, I don't know. I don't think he'll have a problem with that. Come on, get a break. Oh. She spun the pin around. I thought she was going to cover that. It's all right. All right, 75 in the 6th. She can still shoot 233 with handicap, so there's still room here. That's better. There we go. Excellent shot. That's 2 very, very good balls that she's thrown.
That 7-pin almost stood back up.
Yeah. When you let the ball go and you just relax, arm swing, you don't force anything, and you're playing the right part of the lane, and you let the ball do what it's designed to do, good things happen. So meanwhile, Mr. Guerrero, 4-bagger washout open and a strike, looking to get back on track. Ooh, wraparound 10. So fails to strike on that lane for the second consecutive time. So now his max effort is in the 240s. So again, we're only talking about a mark difference. It's much closer than some people would think. Don't take your opponent for granted. That's rule number 2.
Bring your ball, rule number 1.
Bring your A game and don't underestimate your opponent. All right, so Keith makes that 10-pin. Normally pins in bowling centers are good for about 18 months, but I think when Keith bowls,
yeah,
they're good for about 7 months.
I think you're being generous.
Well, because he's not going to be on the same lanes all the
Well,
time.
yeah, okay.
So.
If Keith had his own private bowling 2-lane center in his basement, he'd be buying new pins.
He'd be
every
buying
other
pins
month.
pretty much. Yeah, he'd be buying them quite rapidly.
He'd have an Amazon Smart button, just
yeah.
new set of pins.
Every so many weeks, just bring
pins.
a couple sets. Oh, hit it from both sides and actually got it to fall. I thought it was going to keep it up. All right, so Keith Guerrero can shoot 244 and 4, 248. Lars in a 230 situation.
I think that's actually a Powerball dream for a lot of guys around the Denver area. Their own 2-lane bowling center in their basement.
Well, if they only knew how much work that involved, I don't know if they'd really want to do that. Come on, there we go. Excellent.
It can't be any worse than a hot tub.
It's a lot more, a lot more work than you would realize. A lot of moving parts, a lot of adjustments. You have to be mechanically inclined, and who's going to fix it? You are going to have to fix it, or have somebody teach you how to fix it. But all in all, it's.
Well, if you win the Powerball dream, then you just call.
Oh, you just hire somebody.
Yeah, you just call up McCracken and have him come do a house call.
There you go. How much you want, Steve? Come on over. Sit. Come on. Oh, yes. Wow. I like it. All right. Awesome. Nice comeback. Tell you what, Mr. Guerrero does not strike here. This could get very interesting. I would take him down to a 220 game, and Laura could punch out and beat him. So, game far from over. She has thrown some very good quality shots here in this match. Keith, 9th frame. Nope, he went high through the face. He was lucky. That had big 4 written all over, and he was very lucky just to leave a 4-pin. But again, now he's down to a max of 220. 224 and 4. And 195 and 38, 233.
Channel, you can go to YouTube and find it on YouTube.
All right, so spare by Keith. We're waiting for Keith to get up in a 10th frame. One of my close friends, Ron Buckner, who's been here for 37 years, I think. 40 plus. Okay. Well, I was trying to be nice, Ron. Ron, one of our certified coaches. You're silver certified, I believe, sir? Yep.
Yes,
And has been teaching bowling in this bowling center for a long time. Still very active in the junior program.
That's correct.
One of the good mainstay junior programs that we have in the city. Unfortunately, not as many as we would like to have, but a good group of coaches here, and they've been here for a long time. As much as I like to give you grief,
Yes, you do.
you do a fantastic job for the sport. You really do.
Thank you.
I know a lot of it goes unnoticed, but that's not what we're in it for. We want to just grow the sport. We want people to enjoy it for everything that it has to offer, be it tournament play, league play, open play, doesn't matter.
Family.
Yes, very true.
Family.
So, Ron, it was a pleasure.
Pleasure talking
Glad
to
you stopped in, and I'm glad that you're out on parole. I really am. I was starting to worry about you. Be good, my brother.
Love you much, buddy.
You take care. All right, man. Be good. All right, let's see if Keith can throw the second one here in the 10th. He let it go wide.
It came back in, though.
That's disgusting. When Ron was in his 30s, like 70 years ago, he used to throw the ball almost that good. Kid's amazing, isn't he? Kid is absolutely amazing.
He throws fast.
Yeah. Yeah, we were talking about that the one time. And, every bowling center, if they have the miles per hour, they're all different. And the one night he throws at a 10 pin at 32 miles an hour. That's insane. It's just crazy. Okay, he's going to finish up here. And, 223 and 4, 227. Now, here's the deal, folks. Laura Coros, if she can throw 3 strikes here, she advances, which would be absolutely awesome. That would be cool. One at a time, my dear, one at a time. That looks pretty good. Come on. Ooh, just a hair high. Leave the 4-pin. What a great shot. All right. Spare it up. 174 and 38. She's still going to shoot 212. She's only going to lose by 15 pins. That's impressive. And she started out open.
With her first appearance in the finals.
Yeah,
that's
four opens and loses by 15 pins. And had him thinking about it. She'll have to work on it. Whoa, she made it. All right. Yep. So with a strike here, she shoots 174. And again, she gets 38, so 212. 15-pin difference. That looks pretty good. Come on. All right, what a great game. All right, good job. All right, Laura Carr was her first appearance in the top 5. 172 scratch with handicap 210. And when we get back, Keith is going to take on our second-seeded player, Ron Smith, and we'll do that in just a moment. So again, you're watching the Amateur Bowlers Tour here at AMF Bellevue Lanes. We'll be back in just a moment. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Nick Lasorsa, producer Scott Sledgister here at ColoradoSports.TV. You are watching Amateur Bowlers Tour Denver Branch Stair-Step Finals. This is our semifinal match. It's going to feature our 5th seed, Keith Guerrero, coming off of 2 victories. He's up against our second-seeded player now, Ron Smith of Monument, Colorado, just north of Colorado Springs and south of Denver. And he's elected to have Keith lead the match. Gentlemen, shake hands and best of luck. Ron was one of our first back-to-back master champions way back when. A bunch of titles.
Now, is Keith the number 4 seed or the number 5 seed?
Oh, he was actually number 4. You're correct. Yeah, he bowled the first match. I got a brain fart.
Oh, and I just wanted to make sure I didn't type it in wrong.
No, 4-seeded player. Yeah, he beat 5th seed Ron Wells and our 3rd seed Laura Caros, and now going up against our 2nd seed Ron Smith. That's inside. Yep. Lucky just leaves 610.
That falling 7-pin made it a little easier for him.
Well, his big break was in that last match when he literally went through the face and should have left the big 4 and actually kicked everything out except the 4-pin. That was the turning point of that match. Because other than that, Laura's in complete control. So he's very, very lucky to advance. 2 down, 2 to go. He was worried for a nanosecond.
You going to make Romanos?
He's a pub Catholic. He's a bear shit in the woods.
Depends
Is
on
my wife Polish?
Well, that one I don't know.
Okay. Take my word for it. Come on. Sit. Oop, okay. Leaves a bucket. 3, 5, 6, 9. Ron is in real estate. Him and his wife have been dabbling in real estate for a number of years, very successful at it.
If you're successful, are you really dabbling?
It depends. Depends whether you're really having fun at it or you're actually trying to make $1 gazillion in a couple months. No. Now, Ron is, even when times are tough, Ron and his wife have done well. He's got some a huge base of clients that have been with him for a long time, and probably sold him more than one house. And he absolutely enjoys what he's doing. And when he's not doing that, and his wife's not spending all the money going shopping, then he's bowling. All right, 247. So misses the bucket, and now he's got the 247. The question of the day out there, folks, is we want to know what a Chase burger is. Does anybody know what a Chase burger is?
Oh, boy.
If you do, let us know.
This could get interesting. We're being asked about the pick to click.
Oh, pick to click.
And we were around late.
And since I'm the only one here, you, in my mind, you have to jump on the saddle of the Guerrero stampede here because, like I said, I've seen Keith operate and see him bowl long enough that when he is in that mode, he is extremely difficult to beat. So I'm going to go with the Guam Bomb.
I think Rick could stop him.
And again, and don't take anything away from Ron, even though it's early yet, but Rick Isaacs is one of the most overdue master champions that I've had. Rick has really been out of the winner's circle for a while. He is so overdue.
Oh. That sticky 8 pin.
Yeah, okay, you can call it sticky. That's unbelievable. Oh, Lord. He never complains. He would get bored. It'd be boring.
I do that for him.
Right, so Keith, spare strike. Blowout 8. Okay. All right, 40 in a second with a spare.
I think that pen has trauma now.
Yeah, well, yeah. Thank God there's a lot of trauma centers around here. 11 pins. But he's given Mr. Smith 27. So Ron's still in the lead. Up. Oh, crossed over and can't get out to 4-7.
Yeah, Pogie took Rick as well.
Duh. Oh, he took Isaacs?
Yeah.
Good for him. Good. In a way, that's good. If I was a betting man, which you know I am not. Chuckle.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to go with the guy that is just dialed in and rocking. Even though we were a little late in picking. But thanks for reminding us out there. When I don't have Nolan bothering me, we get that stuff done early. Ooh, ow. Well, he did get the 9 out, just leaves the 3-7. This is much more makeable. 3-7-9 is very, very difficult for a left-hander.
Well, Nolan's got that 512.
Yeah, whatever, 811 and 1, whatever he liar. No, he gets a 0. So now you're looking at 53 in the fourth, and Mr. Smith is in trouble.
If I ever get bored enough over a week, I'm going to go back through the old archives and actually put together an honest record.
You know what? Yeah, and it's not even going to be close to what we laugh about. You know.
No.
That would be fun, though.
Actually, put a spreadsheet together of all the dates and who picked what and was it successful.
And believe it or not, probably the Pogie's probably in the lead, I would think. He's pretty good at picking winners. Sit. Beautiful shot. Here we go.
Well, I am actually working on a system to get the audience involved with the pick-to-clicks.
Oh, God.
And we should be able to play with it sometime over the summer.
That would be fun. Like, for those of you at home, I want you to get on your smartphones.
Yeah. Come in
and text blah, blah, blah if you want Keith Guerrero, blah, blah, blah. You want Ronald Smith.
We have all 5 of them listed up there. And
there you go.
See who.
And then tally those scores, and let's see what we got.
Yeah.
It'd almost be like asking the audience in Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
Oh, I'll admit the inspiration for this comes from the Talking Dead post show.
Oh, got lucky. Mixed it up, gets a double.
But
so remember, if anybody out there can figure out what not just a chase burger, but a plain chase burger. Now, that'll throw you off a little bit, but again, understand we.
Now I'm worried about what we get.
Yeah, we do the best that we can.
Just remember, the chat room has to be PG-13.
Yeah, yes, please. Oh, 4-pin. Crossed over again. He doesn't look comfortable. And actually, you got to play your game. Don't worry about Keith. You play your game. This is how you got here. He didn't help you when you got to this point.
Pogie's claiming a record of around 500.
Oh, please. He's not even that old.
No, not 500 victories, but just batting average type of thing.
Okay.
He's around 500.
Yeah, and I would say he's pretty close. Yes. Me, I know I'm in the 280s, and I'm being nice. And of course, Nolan's telling me he's lost once in the last 847 times.
Well, he'd already put himself in the Hall of Fame on this if he could.
Come on, mix it up. 369.
I actually love it when you and Nolan are on because you two, the comedy between you is just.
Yeah, it was funny. We were talking. In fact, I called it because Nolan normally bowls on Saturday. His wife Michelle is a hairstylist, and she normally works a full day, busy day on Saturday, and so he'll normally come in the afternoon when he's done and try to qualify, and then if not, him and his wife will go have dinner or whatever. So I don't see him at all last night. So I'm going, I'll bet you he's at Garth Brooks' concert.
Oh, no, he was.
And he was.
Yeah, he was posting pictures on Facebook from it.
But 84,000 people.
He was up. His seat looked like it was up above the lights.
That's what Michelle said. They were way up there.
Yeah.
But still.
They were looking down at the horse statue.
Oh, God. You're up there.
Yeah.
Oop, come on. Oh, he does get the 7 out.
That top section of the bowl, you got to get air traffic control clearance before you go up.
That's a fact. And be ready to duck.
Yes, from the geese.
Well, no. Yeah, that was pretty wild. But then he said I asked him if he got caught in the rain. He said, "Well, no." He said the concert went great. He said, "But they took public transportation, so they're going to the train,
right?
And then it opens up.
Yeah.
And of course, temperature's dropping, so now people are wet and cold, and now they're just running. Get me out of here, But that had to be a great concert. Oh, he does carry the 10.
Well,
here we go.
The word from Garth Brooks himself was it was the best show of his career.
Yeah, I would like to see bits and pieces of it. Obviously, I didn't get a chance to, not being there, of course, and maybe they'll put something together and re-televise it or something. But
if it was filmed,
yeah. But if it was that good, hopefully somebody captured it, either his people or maybe somebody locally. Oop! He pulled it, and he got away with it. All right. Well, if you can't spare, you might as well strike. He can still shoot 208 scratch and 31, 239. Unfortunately, Mr. Guerrero is on a 270 pace. Nope, pulled it again. Leaves a 5-8. So realistically, folks, it looks like this tournament is going to come down to Keith Guerrero against Rick Isaacs. And he's going to be spotting Rick 20 pins, which isn't a lot.
Not at all. Keith definitely has the momentum right now.
Oh, yeah.
And that's that age-old question that there really isn't an answer to because it's variable to the bowler. But is it better to just keep going, 4 games like in Keith's position?
Oh, yeah. Sure.
Or is it better to only have to bowl 1?
Yeah, and it's like the old what came first, chicken or the egg. But
the egg.
The beauty of being the leader is you have second place money in your pocket. Look at this. Wow. What another major break on lane 8. So the worst you're going to do, like today, the worst he's going to do is $1,139 if he was the tournament leader, which is the position that Rick Isaacs is in. So you have that in the back of your mind. Now, to me, if it's the title, if it's the prestige of the title that you're looking for, rather than the money, then I would want to come up from the bottom, get lined up, and be loose and ready to go. And winning gives you confidence on top of that, and you're ready to take on anybody. But the financial side of you goes, hey, if I win, that's great. But if not, I got $1,100 in my pocket just for doing what I did an hour and a half ago. That's okay.
Second place with these tournaments pays better than some first place tournaments.
No doubt. Sure.
Does. So, yeah.
Yeah, in fact, we were laughing. I was talking to Sean Diggs when we had our big regional. Sean finished second, and he made like $2,400 for second. He was bummed. I go, Sean, when we go to, whatever center we were at the following week, I said, you realize you're already going to make more money than that champion will next week? He goes, really? Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I like when he thinks he doesn't like the ball. It just destroys the rack. Yeah. So Ron Smith is going to go home in third place today.
I am really waiting for one of those pens to just start exploding when the ball arrives and it powders. If that's your goal, then the matchup you want is Keith and Kelso.
Or Keith and Frank Caccione.
Oh, yeah. Actually, that might be better than Kelso.
No, don't sell Chris short.
I'm not selling Chris short. I forgot about how hard Frankie throws.
I don't know if he can still throw as hard as he used to because he's got some elbow and shoulder issues. But
now, believe me,
he could wind up.
The last thing I will ever do is sell Chris Kelso short. I love watching him bowl.
He is fun to watch.
I'm always in a state of awe.
All right, Ron Smith going to finish up here. Leaves a 2. And again, he gets $225 for third plus $370 for 10% of the Megapod. So he takes home $595. No big deal. 134 plus 31. He's going to shoot 165.
Yes, Chris Lawson, you throw very hard as well. He's in the chat room going, don't forget about me.
Chris, go back to bed. But yes, Chris, you are correct. You can bring it, as they say.
Well, then there's our foursome.
Yeah, that'd be wild. And of course, Chris and I had to bowl against this creature on a weekly basis. You can't help it but like watching him. He is a character. 238 with a spare conversion. All right, so 238 and 4, 242. So he's going 245, 227, 242. And that puts him in the championship matchup against Rick Isaacs of Aurora. You'll see that match here in just a moment. Again, you're watching the Amateur Bowlers Tour Denver branch. We're here at AMF Bellevue Lanes in Englewood, Colorado. We'll be back in just a moment. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Nicholas Sorsa here with producer Scott Sludgister with AMF Bellevue Lanes in Inglewood. This is our championship match for the Amateur Bowlers Tour Denver branch, and it'll feature 2 multi-master champions. So this ought to be hopefully it'll be a great match. Rick Isaacs of Aurora taking on our 4th-seeded player. He's trying to run the ladder and win his 4th match for another title, and that's Keith Guerrero of Parker. Rick is elected to have Keith lead the match. Go ahead, guys, shake hands, and best of luck. And Rick will have 20-pin advantage in his championship match. Okay, somebody came out at the break and said that a Chase burger is a half a pound of pulled pork with all the toppings you want.
Now, a half-pound beef patty.
Half pound.
With
pulled pork.
With pulled pork on top of it.
Ooh. Now, you know I'm hungry, so that's gnawing at me.
Yeah, but you're thinking of ravioli, not barbecue.
No, I'm thinking of linguine and clams.
Oh.
That's my favorite. Got to have that.
That one is hard to argue with.
Okay, Rick Isaacs. Rick's been with me since the Masters division started in 1995, so 24 years. Rick also was one of the initial sports league bowlers when we had that traveling sports league in town in the mid-late 90s. Bowled with good friend Steve Dudek. Looks like no problem with the 1-2. Okay, so both bowlers mark in frame number 1. 2 postal employees. Rick out of Aurora, and although Keith lives in Parker, I believe he works out of Louisville.
Really?
Yeah, so
well,
both
actually, don't you have a third one in the office?
No, he's a contractor.
A truck driver for them, I thought.
Yeah, but he doesn't work for the post office specifically. His company hauls mail for the post office.
Yeah, I thought Fish worked for them.
No, oh God,
office.
no. Would you hire him?
I would not. You know what? I'm the wrong one to ask because I only hire camera operators. I don't need truck drivers.
Oh
I
my
only hire
God.
camera operators.
Jeez.
And announcers. I need
one person has responded. A Chase burger is a half pound of ground beef or hamburger with pulled pork on top and your choice of condiments. I went, that sounds pretty damn good. You got to call your wife, see if that's what she's talking about. All right, Mr. Guerrero starts out with a double. I am trying to get you in trouble. You know that. That's my job.
I'm happy to help.
I can't do that for Matt because Matt's single. Yeah, I just have to tell him ugly cat stories. You know, like that they say that cats always land on their feet, and I go, not if you throw them off a 6-story building. They don't. That's true. So he didn't want to hear that, but
I don't want to hear that. I don't want to throw a cat off a 6-story building.
Boom. Great shot. There's straight away. But I do remember putting a cat in one of those industrial dryers, the ones that had the front opening, and it came out and the hair was like, it looked like a huge pillow. And it was the funniest thing I ever saw in my life. Well, of course, we didn't have the heat on high. The cat was never in danger of losing its life, but it was funnier than shit to see what happened.
Folks, don't try this at home.
479.
Don't put your cat in the dryer.
No, and don't put the cat in the microwave either.
No,
that can get deadly. You don't want to do that. Even if you're just trying to dry it off, it's not good.
It will not dry your cat.
No. At least, well, from the inside out, but that's not good.
You know, my sister runs a cat shelter, don't you?
Oh, and she listens to the show, doesn't she?
Well, here we go. Finish. Get 2. Oh, Rick. All right. Unfortunately, that cost him 4 pins because he was on a strike. So 44 in the third, up against Keith Guerrero with a front 3.
Pogie's trying to cause trouble, too.
That doesn't take much.
He's over there doing a voodoo dance for a Stepniak.
That ain't going to happen, dude. I'm sorry. Not in your lifetime is that going to happen. Ow. 3-6-10.
Now, for the new viewers that aren't familiar with what we're talking about, there's a certain word that we're not allowed to say on air.
Right.
Starts with T, ends with
E. I would not venture to figure out what that word could be. But
and it's not time.
Thank you very much. Yes. And it affects our ability to eat a quality dinner
Yes.
on Sunday evenings.
So we've used the code word Stepniak in place of this word.
All right, so he does get the 3-6-10. That and the fact that him and Roadkill used to stick around and beg for that situation to occur.
We stopped allowing Joe to hang out and be part of the peanut gallery when he started bringing signs in for "We want ties." So.
Yeah. And then of course you got Ross Kelly right next to him, doing his math.
We haven't seen him in a while.
Steven's got knee issues, and hopefully he'll get those rectified, and he'll be ready to go in a couple months. But he's got to get his knee replaced. He really does. Every time they go in and scope it, it's just short term, but it still bothers him. He works on his feet all day, so it's not a good thing. So hopefully his family finally talked him into doing the knee replacement, which I would highly recommend. And he can get that done and hopefully be ready to go for the Winter Nationals at South Point for $50,000 Super Bowl week. That would be pretty cool. All right, Mr. Guerrero, 3-bagger, 9 spare, so no 300 today. Although with him, it's always can happen.
I'm not going to play with you guys. Not until next week.
Frame number 5. Boom. Great shot. The thing that's disgusting is he could do this all night. You and I would be calling we'd be on the 911 hotline. But Keith's just having fun.
Yeah, my arm would fall off.
Oof. Let's see if Rick can get something going here. Ooh, high, leaves a 4-7. Next week's pattern ought to be interesting, folks. The new Wolf, new PBA Wolf, 33 feet. That's going to be fun. I keep telling the membership, bring plastic, bring urethane, or in the case of Keith Guerrero, just do what you normally do, because at that ball speed, it really doesn't matter. Yeah. So that'll be at Coal Creek up in Lafayette. Beautiful 24-lane bowling center. Good friend Chris Muscat, general manager there. He just got back from Vegas a week ago. Took a couple teams out to bowl the USBC Nationals at South Point. Took his son with him and a bunch of the regulars at the league. Jason Moore, probably Sky Hiddle, the Coal Creek regulars, as I like to call them. Had a good time to get away. As soon as the leagues are over, you get a nice break. All right, no problem with that spare. 81 in the fifth with a spare to Keith's possible 279 max to Rick Isaac's 231 max. With about a half a game to go. And again, these matches fly when Mr. Guerrero is in the mix. There ain't no messing around.
No, we've got some folks that we haven't seen in a while, but they're on the other end of the spectrum.
Yeah.
And
we time them with sundials.
Yeah. I just like it when I show up, and there's two, I'm not going to mention names, but there's two guys in particular I'm thinking about. And when they are in the greater tournament, they always put those two guys together on two on their pair, where all the other pairs are four, and these two guys are still the last ones to finish.
Yeah, we have that issue at times.
But it doesn't matter because they're also some of the best bowlers in the state. So
yeah. And what I used to laugh and I'd say, yeah, but you don't understand. They only throw one ball a frame.
Yeah.
So the time is probably the same. But yeah, we have one gentleman, and we won't mention his name, but for a while his nickname was the human rain delay.
Yes.
So, oh. Wow, first open. Don't give Rick the opportunity.
Flying past that.
Yep. At a mere 18, maybe 19 miles an hour.
It was still fast enough to create an air wake that moved the pin a little bit, but not enough to knock it over.
Well, it didn't create a sonic boom. So
yeah,
right
no.
All right, 127 in the sixth. You can still max out at 247.
It would be fun, actually, to bring a speed gun out here. And
yeah, it would, actually. It'd be fun.
Put that up on the screen like it's a baseball pitch.
Beautiful. Beautiful shot. All right.
If you're okay with it, if you want to give it to me, I see him tomorrow night.
Actually, he's only down 6 pins, believe it or not, folks. Rick Isaac's in the hunt. 20-pin advantage in handicap and only down 26.
Pogie's already making a prediction for next week's winner.
Wow, that's impressive.
Yeah.
I'd love to know who that is. Pulled it badly. 1, 3, 5, 6, 10.
Frank Santragan.
Frank the Tank. Frank the Tank Santarelli. Yes, sir.
I have them on Facebook, so I'm going to send a message on Facebook.
Straighter is greater. And Frank has been coming, like I said, he's streaky. He didn't make it this week, but I think he made it the last two tournaments.
Oh.
And I think he made the top 8 and finished tied the top 12 at the regional. And I think he finished tied for 9th or something like that. So he was in the mix. And that's a good choice. You need somebody that can throw hard and straight and make the majority of your spares. And on a pattern like that, that's going to give you the best chance. So that's a good choice.
Somewhere this week, Frank's going to see this and go, oh, I guess I should enter.
He didn't bowl bad.
But it's a union job for one, it's a government job for two. They can't force it.
All right, so unfortunately, we got Rick Isaacs, 105 in the 7th. Now he needs to convert to 310. So he can max out at 185. This means basically Keith would just have to mark 2 of the last 3 frames. And he's not even going to do that. So he goes open, 114 in the 8th. Best thing he can do now is 174. And with the handicap difference, 194. So Keith marks his next 3 frames. He Cannot be beat.
Like, if he comes out and he's just sitting here watching, and they follow him here, and he's just sitting here watching, he's not doing anything. If he picks up the ball and starts throwing the ball, then yeah, they're going to report. But it also depends on what the doctor says.
Frank is actually watching and
Is he?
and says he hopes Pogie's right.
Yep, absolutely. Ooh, 10-pin.
Well, thank you for tuning in, Frank.
Frank the Tank. Frank the Tank, but yet it's his wife, Jody, that's got the scooter. We got to put like a nozzle on that thing. Dress it up like a tank. That'd be fun.
Only if it fires off candy bars.
Yeah. Yeah, and in Frank's case, Almond Joys. All right, good shot. He was hooked on Butterfingers for the longest time, but now my wife tells me that his addictions have now turned to Almond Joys.
It's shifted, huh? Still part of the Mars family, but
I'm just a chocoholic. I don't care what they are. I'm pretty much going to eat everything. That's why I'm in so much trouble. Well, typical summertime in a 48-lane bowling center. I think we got 9 lanes running, and 4 of which we're using. So pretty
there's
typical,
a lot of people on each of those
especially on
pairs that
Sunday.
are going.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. They're having fun. Boom. Great shot. Great shot. Well, depending on what Rick does here, it's pretty much over. He would have to punch out and hope for a miracle. But we've seen stranger things happen. Hell, Sturgeon's won a tournament. You never know. Sit. Come on. There we go. That was a Stepniak, by the way. The old four pin forward. Joe Ball. Yep.
See, I got to start bowling because I want to take a crack at that 50 grand winter tournament some year.
Oh. Yeah, start lining up. Yeah, you got plenty of time for that, too. That'll be Saturday. I believe this year it's February 2nd, 2020. The day before Super Bowl. Come on, Rick. Try to keep it going. Nope. That'll end his day. He's going to finish with 150 and change plus 20 for 170 and change. So Keith Guerrero of Parker is our ABT champion once again.
That was a good time when I was in Vegas for the Super Bowl.
Always is. Yeah. It's amazing the
thankfully-
amount of people.
Thankfully, the Eagles pulled that out for me.
Yeah. Oh, okay. That's right. Rick still had a great weekend, 142 scratch, but 166. But he takes home $1,139 for second place. Great finish for Mr. Isaacs. And meanwhile, Keith Guerrero goes up the ladder, wins 4 matches. I want to say it's title number 7, but don't quote me. Oh, kicks out the 4-7-10. Absolutely disgusting. So you can punch for 227 and 231. All right, one more, finish it up.
Or 78. 28 or 78.
4-9. All right, 225 and 4 for 229. And Keith Guerrero of Parker, Colorado is our latest ABT champion. And we'll have a quick yak at Mr. Guerrero when we come back. But right now, we're going to step aside, try to find out how many other Chase burgers have been ordered while we're waiting. So we'll be back in just a moment, folks. You're watching the Amateur Bowlers Tour here at AMF Bellevue Lanes in Inglewood. We'll be back in just a moment. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Nicholas Sorsa. I am with the Guam Bomb.
Oh.
Keith Guerrero. I love calling you that. Oh. Only guy I know that can make a 10-pin at like Mach 5.
Oh, not anymore.
You realistically, I would tell most people, most pins are good for like 18 months. If you had 2 lanes in your basement, those pins wouldn't last 3 weeks.
Oh, I wouldn't bowl that much. I'm too tired. Almost off the calendar.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that.
I know.
Well, not bowling this summer, which in a way is good. Save your strength for bowling tournaments and
blisters.
And
give them time to heal.
Yeah. But you did good as always. 2 guys that I know you have a couple of guys take care of you with your equipment. Al Wolf out at Best Pro Shop at right now Zone Wheat Ridge, and then of course you got Sean Lee at 10-back Bowling Outfitters at AMF Monaco. But both excellent ball drillers. Of course.
Oh, yeah.
And I tell our listeners all the time, I said, we are so lucky. We have probably 7 or 8 guys in town that are fantastic ball drillers.
Yeah.
There are areas in the country that they don't have one. And they don't realize how lucky we are.
Sounds like home to me.
Yeah,
we
really.
use regular power drills to drill our balls.
And honestly, years ago when a few of the junior bowlers that were gifted enough to be able to throw fingertip. Of course, they're still growing and their hands are small, and we did that to get them to start with a fingertip. We had no drill bits that were that small, so we literally used a power drill, and did the best we could to get them that understanding of how it worked, and. One gal that bowled my junior program back on the East Coast actually got pretty good at it, which is amazing. She couldn't have been 40 pounds, probably 7 years old, but, she was gifted. She just got it, and she got it early, and it's kind of fun to see.
7 years old. I was like 140 pounds. Yeah.
Is that with your equipment on?
No. Even worse with my equipment.
Well, you know what, buddy? I know that, really, and I laugh. People laugh and go, yeah, Keith Guerrero don't struggle. I said, but, really, for the last couple times we've seen you, it's taken you almost everything to qualify. Of course, you're pretty much scratch, and then that makes it tough too. But, your advantage, obviously, is you can overpower a lot of conditions. And then when you get lined up, you're extremely accurate. And what everybody saw here today normally happens, unfortunately.
Blind squirrel finding an acorn.
Yeah, but you find it lots of acorns all at once, But now you bowled really well again today, Keith. I'm happy for you. I'm glad because I know it's been a little while since we've been able to chat with you. But taking the summer off, that's good. Hopefully I'll see you again this fall in the Scratch League, and we'll have some more fun. And
if we still fit.
And lie to each other.
If we fit.
Yeah, that's our problem. We got to do the same thing. So we'll see what happens.
Rearrange some furniture.
Of course. Oh, yeah.
Thank you, honey. Love you.
All right, folks, that's going to do it for us.
Thank you, Al.
Scott Sledgester, producer here at ColoradoSports.TV. All his ball drillers, his lovely girlfriend. Mm-hmm. Won't mention any names, Jennifer. But anyway, have a great week.
Thank you, Nick.
Next week, folks, again, we're at Coal Creek Lanes in Lafayette on the Wolf. So the only one that could probably master that is him because he's only going to throw the ball hard enough. But we'll see you next week. Have a great week, folks.
Thank you.
Be safe.